Hi everyone, it's Helen, your UC. After attending 2 of the live collaborate sessions and having some feedback from the ELAs, I can see that there is some general confusion about this essay, and that is completely understandable as this is a new assignment for this unit, and we are also making sure that you get the best information that you can, and we are also trying to explain it as clearly as we can as well. Please be assured that the feedback that you have been giving our ELAs is going back to our academic, and hopefully this will feed through and filter down for this assignment in our next teaching period. But for now, we need to make sure that you have got the most information and the best information that we can give you. So what one of our fantastic ELAs, Mandy, has done, has created an essay template which hopefully will help to alleviate some of your concerns and will hopefully make things a little bit clearer for you. So just remember that it is a guide on how to structure your essay. You don't have to do this, but it's a really good guide, and hopefully it will help you. Now remember, for the higher grades, we are looking for explicit connections between the approaches, the example you use, and the resources. So make sure that you keep that in mind if you're looking for a higher mark. Now remember, we're also looking for specific information. So if you're using a book, then you need to make sure that you tell us the name of that book and that we know what resources that you are using there. Remember, your total word count is 2,000 words. Make sure you don't go over, because ELAs have to stop reading at the 2,200 words. Now the word count that we've allocated to each section here is just a guide. You might find that you might need a few more extra words in one section than the other, but remember to keep to that teal format, and that is in the Padlet and also in the student portal. So let's have a look at the template here that Mandy has created. So our first section is our introduction. This is where we're going to introduce what will be discussed, give an overview of the essay and the main aim, which is to compare and contrast the literacy approaches, and make sure you state here which approaches you will be using. So we know that you're going to be using the standalone approach, but have you decided to use the integrated or the holistic? So you need to let us know here in the introduction which one you have chosen, and also you need to let us know that you're covering the standalone as well. So hopefully that's the introduction sorted. Now if you have a look at your body, this is where you're going to name and describe your first example. So for example, you're looking at an integrated approach. So your example is inquiry-based learning. So you're not just going to say, my example is inquiry-based learning. You're going to give me a little bit of information about inquiry-based learning and how that links back to the integrated approach. When you've done that, then you're going to share and discuss 2 examples. So one is a general example, like I spoke about a book, make sure it's specific, and one of the resources is a form of assessment. So it might be anecdotal notes, and this might include a rubric, but remember, you don't need to include the rubric, you just need to describe it for each of the approaches. So that's really important that you take note of that. So I'm just going to recap that again. Remember that you need to share and discuss 2 resources, one general, which is specific, and one which is a form of assessment. So there's some information on the Padlet in regards to that, but hopefully that is clear there. Then you need to share a teaching strategy that would support one area of literacy within the approach. So it might be interactive writing for the integrated approach, and then you need to explain how this would be beneficial in this particular situation. So just give a little bit of an overview of how your teaching strategy is beneficial in your approach that you have selected. So for example here, how is your interactive writing beneficial with an integrated approach? So that's really important to remember there. And then finally, link an example or 2 from the Australian curriculum or other government planning documents. So make sure you use your descriptors here. So when you've done that for one of your approaches, then you need to repeat this for the second program. So in this instance, standalone. So hopefully that makes sense. So this is the format that you cover in regards to one of your approaches, and then you go back and you do it for the second approach. Now make sure you don't use headings because headings aren't acceptable in an academic essay, but just be clear in each of your paragraphs what you are covering. So hopefully that helps in regards to the body. Remember that you are need to be clear in what you're saying, and that you are looking for those explicit connections which we spoke about at the very beginning. So then once you've done that, you're going to compare the two approaches. So what are the similarities and differences of your two programs and approaches? So programs or approaches, sorry, I should say. So in here, we've given standalone versus integrated. So you're not comparing your examples, you're comparing your approaches. So be very clear on that. That's a very important point, and I know that has been asked. So how do they compare? You may have a preference for one over the other, and that's okay, but remember that we're going to be keeping our discussion of an academic nature, so it needs to be in third person. So we don't want to be seeing anything like "I believe" or "in my teaching," so be sure to back up your discussion with relevant references. So I'm just going to be very, very clear here. You are not giving your opinion, you are merely giving some comparisons and some contrasts between the two approaches that you have chosen. So hopefully that is clear. When we did our live collaborate sessions, there was a Venn diagram, and there was some great brainstorming in the couple of sessions that I attended. So you're looking for things that are different and things that are the same. I know that there were some people wondering how many comparisons and how many differences we should be looking at. So that will definitely depend on your word count, but I would be looking at 3 to 4 in that section there. If you don't have that many, 2 to 3 would be fine. So it's just up to you as to your word count and how you're structuring that. So I want to be really clear, because I think this part has created some confusion. You are looking at the similarities and differences of your two approaches, okay? And you're not giving an opinion, you are just giving the similarities and differences. So hopefully that clears that up. And then in your conclusion, you're going to summarize the main points that you've included without bringing up new information. That's really important. And you might use your conclusion as a way to review some of the general information that you have shared and how each approach could be used by teachers or in the classroom. Remember, you're not giving your opinion there, you're just giving a summary of what you have covered in the essay. So hopefully the template here helps in regards to structuring your essay. I'm going to post this in an announcement, and I'll also ensure that this template is on the Padlet. Please, if you still have questions, ask your ELA, but I'm really hoping that this template will help clear up some of those issues that you've been having, and please let us know if you need any more help. Take care and good luck. Bye for now.